Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 979. I'm Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
This week, first off, we're opening up the vault a little bit for some fluid links. So you know it's a slow week when we don't have any news to talk about. And we just finished our Planet of the Daleks commentary, wrapped up last week. So we're looking at some older fluid links.
Spiders,
Planet of
Spiders,
the Spiders.
I
literally watched Planet of the Daleks last night for our Terry Nation miniscope. More on that in a little bit. So we're gonna answer some of the extra fluid links that we had the last time we did one. So as a reminder, though, tell you what, because it's September now, kids. And December is right around the corner, and you know what we like to do every time December rolls around. We like to have our little Fluid Links Advent calendar, one Fluid Link a day from December 1st to 24th, leading up to now, finally, again, the Doctor Who Christmas special. So start thinking of some questions that you want answered on this here podcast and send them in. It's going to be unwieldy because, of course, there's, Twitter is a tire fire for the most part, so everybody fled to Threads and Mastodon and Blue Sky and back to Facebook and Instagram.
And a couple other non-Twitters that died on the Vine about 10 minutes later.
Yeah, or died on the Hive, if you will, because Hive is...
Oh, that was the one. Yeah, I couldn't remember the names of them.
Yeah, no. But anyway, send us your fluid links. Hashtag fluid links, just so we can find them, hopefully, even though some of these sites don't even use hashtags, I don't think. But we'll do our best. We'll do our best to compile them, and because we'll record our Advent calendar probably mid to late November. So get them in, kids. What are you thinking? What's on your mind regards to Doctor Who, the future of Doctor Who, the past of Doctor Who, the present, all those sort of things? Send your questions and comments to us, and we'll record them for the Advent calendar. So there we go. There's that bit of business. What else? What else is happening? I mentioned Terry Nation. We just recorded our second Terry Nation miniscope this past week. That will be on the Patreon feed early for our Patreon supporters, along with next week a fun chat I did earlier this week with Toby Haydock, all about Doctor Who Blu-ray extras and everything else. And oddly enough, we solve a bit of a mystery in regards to a missing Doctor Who episode in that chat. So that's also coming to Patreon supporters and and on the main feed later on, probably in October. So there we go. That is the housekeeping, I think. I think that's everything. Oh, we're recording our third Nation miniscope soon, too, which is why I watched Planet of the Daleks again last night.
I'm just glad we're over our black and white hump, because I'm done with black and white. Thank you very much.
In general, or...
No, just I'm done with the Hartnell era. I've had enough of the Hartnell era for now. Yeah,
we did watch a lot of it, actually, didn't we, for Nation? Chris, do you have a similar aversion to black and white, or is this... Because, Warren's favorite Brian De Palma film, Schindler's List, is in black and white.
How dare you? And also, I have no aversion to black and white. I'm just kind of sick and tired of the Hartnell era after plowing through some real stinkers like The Chase. Just a preview of the miniscope right there. And non-stickers like The Daleks Master Plan, which is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. So
there you are, yeah.
Where else am I going to get my Edmund Warwick fixation if not through the William Hartnell era?
Right. We have several hundred episodes of this very podcast to go through, and where everybody can hear your Edmund Warwick fixation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right up there with Gordon Tipple.
Yep.
Yeah.
And other jokes that'll never die because you won't let them.
Have mentioned Gordon Tipple. Gordon Tipple, by the way, for new listeners who haven't been following the show for all 979 episodes, was and
if you didn't, good for you.
The Canadian actor,
the sane ones. Here's to the sane ones.
He played the Master in the opening sequence of the Doctor Who TV movie in 1996. So never said a word. Was supposed to say more words, I think, but eventually got edited out. It just appeared.
Well, you know what that opener needed? More words.
More. That's true. Yeah, kind of like
the only voice was Paul McGann's. We needed some variety there, did we not?
That's true.
Which also doesn't make any sense given he hasn't regenerated into
Jeffrey
him yet.
Sachs.
Yeah, it's kind of like the beginning of the Star Beast when you think about it. It's like we need a big weird voiceover thing.
I never made that connection, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Someone on high. Whenever you see an opening narration or something like that, it feels like someone higher up in the studio says, "I don't know what's going on. Tell me right up front."
Popular band Panic at the Studio.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. That might be our episode title now. Anyway, let's talk about some Doctor Who news. Do you want to talk about some Doctor Who stuff? Some Doctor Who stuff.
What little we have, yes.
It feels weird in a way, doesn't it? Because currently they're shooting Twiblats, the War Between the Land and the Sea, and on location, a lot of location stuff in Wales for all you location hunters out
since
there.
There's a lot of sea involvement.
I suppose so. I'm just wondering when they're going to go into studio because they got a big old studio there for stuff. But anyway, but so we know that they're shooting that, but we don't know when that's going to come out. We originally thought that maybe next fall, but now we're almost thinking like it'll occupy the same spot that season 3 might in the spring of 2026, just because it takes so long to make a season of Doctor Who that might be. That might be it. So we know obviously the Christmas special, Joy to the World, is coming on Christmas Day. But like season 2 was long been in the can. It just needs to be broadcast or streamed. So like there's new Doctor Who on the horizon, but it's already been made, and so we don't know anything else about it. And so it feels kind of weird. You would think that we would be like in a normal universe. Right about now, they'd be shooting that second season of Doctor Who, and we would be picking up on little stuff here and there. But it's a bit of a quiet time.
It's the very antithesis of the 60s stuff we were watching, where they were just plowing through it and making it by the seat of their pants.
Exactly.
He says, as we have a news item about season 2.
And yet we do. Isn't that interesting?
Or is it? Probably. Who knows?
Well, yeah. Well, one of them is weirdly. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll leave it at that because Archie Punjabi is set to play a Doctor Who villain in season 2. Deadline, exclusive. It's rare for these Deadline variety Hollywood reporters to sort of like go with a bit of a scoop kind of thing like this, but they live with it. And so Archie Punjabi, who has been in many different shows, she was in The Good Wife over on this side of the Atlantic, but has been in like Bend It Like Beckham. She played the breakout role in Bend It Like Beckham. I didn't know that. Snowpiercer, the show Snowpiercer, The Fall.
Shot in Vancouver.
Shot in Vancouver. Shetland.
Yeah, you'd never know.
Yeah, so she's been in a bunch of stuff, and she's going to play a villain in season 2.
But by the way, the word exclusive is absolutely meaningless in the age of the internet. Like it made sense when you had a newspaper. Yeah. And yes, it was exclusive for about a day and a half. But, but this is a minute later. It's not exclusive anymore. Mm-hmm. It's just silly.
Yeah, just a bit. So who she'll play? Who knows? Ronnie, obviously. It's obviously the Ronnie.
Susan.
Or Susan.
And Susan at the same time.
What if
Susan was Mrs. Flood?
Susan is the Ronnie.
Who is Mrs. Flood?
My fan theories have been completely scrambled by this.
You got to pick. The Ronnie's going to be someone, either Mrs. Flood or Archie Punjabi's character. Which is it going to be?
So which is the dumber of the two? The right-wing cinematic universe that you have to follow to understand what the hell Trump's talking about at a debate, or these idiotic theories that we all come up with? I guess the more harmless one is obviously Star Wars, Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah, I will take this 100%. No idea who she's playing, but she's all of her stuff's already in the can anyway. So it's like speculate away. It ain't gonna change anything unless they go back and redub every time they say her actual character's name with the Ronnie instead.
The Ronner.
Yep.
Bad redubbing.
Exactly, Mr. Black.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So yeah, we'll see who that is in the months to come. Presumably in March when season 2 comes out. But anyway, here comes the speculation part of this podcast. I don't know if you've heard, but Doctor Who is on the verge of being canceled. If you listen to all the
what else is new?
The internet scribes out there, but truth be told, it hasn't been picked up for season 3 yet. I mean, season 2 hasn't aired yet. Everyone is sort of like thinking, well, I should just automatically renew these things because that's how TV works, right? But Russell T Davies, I think, said in a recent SFX magazine, I think, from quotes from the San Diego Comic-Con back in July that, it's, we're just waiting. It's still waiting. This is how it normally works. Just have to wait for season 2 for it to come out before it comes out. Most of us are going, I don't know about that. Seems like he's kind of, dodging the question a little bit. Anyway, on Instagram, this, yesterday, as we record this Friday?
I think so, yeah.
He posted a picture of himself on the TARDIS set. Said morning. And
we don't actually know when he took that picture. That could be from months ago.
Well, I don't.
It could be from years ago, actually. Is it? I have no idea.
I don't know.
It was from 1963.
There you go.
63.
No, but I mean, when they shoot the Tenet stuff, like 2023.
Oh,
could be from then.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I
doubt it too, but I'm just saying it could be.
2022 is when they shot the Tenet stuff. But
I'm just now you've got me like zooming in on it. Like, okay, let's date.
Wake up, sheeple.
Let's try and carbon date various aspects of this photo. Yeah. What did Davies look like at that time? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, he posts a photo of that on the TARDIS set. So the TARDIS set's still there, which is good news. But here's the big thing here. Read into this, kids, like I'm reading into it, mostly for the sake of sounding alarmist on a podcast. But the official Disney Doctor Who Instagram account reacted with 3 eye emojis. 3 meaning season 3?
Possibly. I hope so. That'd be good.
Yeah. That's
God, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
You're really grasping.
I am.
Here's my even bigger grasp.
Right.
A la class, when pointlessly Capaldi shows up and talks to some people, maybe they have a bit of a Doctor Who crossover with Twiblats, where they just end up in the TARDIS for some reason and talk to the Doctor for 5 minutes at the end of it or something. I mean, they are shooting it right now, so why would you? It's
That's
possible.
True. Yeah. Maybe the TARDIS is there. Maybe they use the TARDIS. Maybe Doctor Who won't be there right now. And Ncuti Gatwa's in Spain with his family, according to his Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I saw that.
Yeah, looks quite nice there actually.
Is he or isn't he in a Speedo? That's the question.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Not in any of the shots I saw.
Remarkable restraint on his part.
Yeah.
If you had his body, you'd be showing it off. No question.
Let me tell you right now, I do not.
No.
So.
No question. Yeah. He works very hard to look that good. So.
He really does. That's
enjoy
the key.
It, Ncuti.
That's the key separation right there. He works very hard.
Well, I'm not making fun of him. I mean,
good. Thank you, Ward, for not making.
No. I just think it's funny how often he's in a Speedo in his Instagram.
Again, wouldn't you be?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, speculate all you will about that. Doctor Who renewed for season 3 based on Instagram emoji replies. Heard it here first. Make some
that's a lock there, Woodward and or Bernstein.
So it's come to this.
It's come to this. Yep, exactly. I just thought it was interesting, but also I just wanted to point it out. Just tell you what, I wanted to point that out to sound how potentially silly it is before other people around the internet.
I was going to say, you're not spitting out a 4-hour angry video about it, so that's something, at least.
Exactly.
Well, it only got posted yesterday, Warren. He needs time to compose his 4-hour video.
That's true. Steven's made of better stuff than that. He's not an insane YouTuber, or a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's good to have goals, though.
Yeah, it's true. It is good to have goals. Big Finish. Hey, that it was cool seeing pictures because the Big Finish live performance of Stuff of Legend was last weekend, and now we've seen some photos from it. This isn't the news list just off the top of my head, but the BBC posted photos because they had the classic set on stage next to a TARDIS and a Dalek at the Big Finish thing, and so it was super cool seeing Paul McGann in his current outfit. On the set of the classic series TARDIS, like just completely mixing up eras. You've got your 96 TV movie on your 80s set with your 2024 costume. It was pretty cool seeing Paul McGann on like that, and they had a before, then and now sort of thing, comparing it with the 96 TV movie. So that's cool. That was pretty neat. Well done, Big Finish, on that event. There's a couple things coming out though, kids. There's a couple things in December. The War Doctor Rises, Unknown Soldiers comes out, and
it's a cool cover.
We've been analyzing the cover to determine what goes on in this, because that's it's an audio thing. We don't see trailers for this yet. So Warren, what did you spot that was of some
besides a pretty young looking Movillan, although I get a robot, so I don't know how young they are.
Right.
I did spot the most important thing. There's Ogrons, which is important. There is what the hell are they called? The Zerafin?
We reason it's Zerafin on the bubble there.
Is it? Oh, okay. Because my first thought was Fires of Pompeii.
Oh, it might have been them too.
The key image, the thing that ties it all together, is this guy at the bottom left who looks like some guy with a beard, but I'm surmising it's Rob Ritchie playing Rob Ritchie.
Rob Ritchie from Doctor Who Restoration fame sort of thing, yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. He's going to restore this audio as they do it.
That's true.
I can't make out. So up by the special weapons Dalek,
right
inside the red triangle reticle thing
from Deadly Assassin.
From the Deadly Assassin, which I'm
not sure what that creature is supposed to be inside the.
Warren reasoned it was an angry cat or a sea devil.
Because it's not a sea devil.
No, it has to be something that we recognize. That's a thing, but
sure it is. It could just be a thing they created.
Mm-hmm.
Is that supposed to be Gallifreyan beside the Movellan?
That is Isla Blair on the cover, by Isla Blair, who of course was in King's Demons in Blake's 7 Duel, and is married to Julian Glover. So that's and she was in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, playing Julian Glover's character's wife, oddly enough. So
that doesn't answer my question. Fair enough. Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know where she's a disgraced Time Lord Pars is what her name is.
Oh,
no, but you mean Gallifreyan writing, right? There is some vague designs that look Gallifreyan.
No, just her red like.
Oh, I see.
Tunicky looking thing just struck me as being Gallifreyan.
Disgraced, disgraced Time Lord.
We're burying the lead here. There's a special weapons Dalek and some Dalek with spider legs and an energy thing in its bottom half.
Yeah.
It's like a plasma ball.
Everything is in this.
That could very well be a callback to some other Big Finish stuff that I'm not aware of.
That's true. Anyway, this is the birth of a new segment on Ready for Skaro, where we completely overanalyze the cover art for upcoming Big Finish releases. This one is for Unknown Soldiers, coming out in December.
You joke, but their artwork is usually pretty fantastic.
It's really good.
Or there's times when it's like really exceptional.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Other times less so is what he means to say.
You crank out that much art, there's going to be some that are better than others.
Yeah.
They can't all be winners. Yeah.
That's true. It's really good. It's really good stuff. And then this is exciting stuff. So coming in January 2025. The details now have come out about The Fugitive Doctor Most Wanted, starring Joe Martin as said Fugitive Doctor. Let's overanalyze the cover of this. First off, let's kick it off.
There's 2 Joe Martins for some
reason.
There's
2 Joe Martins.
And a Borg Queen.
And a Borg Queen. And
the Borg Queen.
Alice Krige.
The definitive article.
Exactly.
Any working doesn't rate for you?
She's dead.
Yeah, she's fine, but the real Borg Queen is Alice Krige.
She's also passed on.
But, she died, sadly, yeah.
Well, there was another one in Voyager that wasn't Alice Krige. I don't remember her name.
I recalled this now. And also, no, Alice Krige was the original one from First Contact. Then she came back, I think, didn't she, for a Voyager episode?
In Voyager.
She came back for the end of Picard, finale. Too, I think, didn't she?
No, she did not.
No, that was Annie Wershing.
Yeah,
she came back for the 2-part Borg finale, like season 7 series wrap-up finale, whatever thing for Voyager.
Okay.
At the very least.
I can't bring myself to watch a lot of Voyager, so
no, I wouldn't do it either.
I'll never know.
Well, you can listen to this then, Joe Martin. What I love about this cover art is that the cover art for Joe Martin, the way like she's got her hands outreached and like her TARDIS set is sort of superimposed over her, is that looks like the very type of image that Lee Binding would put together for the season Blu-ray box sets, which is kind of cool. So we got like the
Joe.
It
totally does. You're right.
Yeah.
So kind of
I don't know if it's Binding or a mock-up or what, but I saw something comparable for like a mock season 11 Blu-ray thing per week image.
Joe Martin Blu-ray confirmed. One Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Fugitive Doctor and cameos.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Pretty sure it was a mock-up because I don't think that one's on the horizon anytime soon. But anyway, so they go Alice Krieg, Daleks on Platt. Daleks are always on these things, and of course Joe Martin times 2 apparently. In Doctor Who Most Wanted, that's coming from Big Finish in January. I want to.
How much?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Warren, please.
I was going to say how much the whole Dalek thing is just that Nicholas Briggs is one of the founding fathers of Big Finish, so he's always around, so they can just use him.
That's true. He has not spoken without his breaking modulator since 2014. He's always got it on his person. Just has a microphone permanently attached to his face. It just speaks like a Dalek the entire time.
I mean, I'm sure you've interviewed him. I interviewed him once. Charming fellow.
He's great. Nicholas Briggs is great.
He's a really nice guy.
Yeah he is. No, I just wanted to follow up. So last week that we talked about sonic screwdrivers? Here's my shooties. It makes a noise.
Yeah, I think it was.
Can make a noise. There we go. There it is right there. Anyway, I joked about how we didn't. Maybe I wanted a mug, like a big mug. Remember we talked about tankards?
Oh dear God, yes.
Did you buy one?
And then,
not the AI mug, please.
No, I didn't. But I went out sometime on Sunday or Monday, and then when I came back on the coffee table, Erica had taken a Doctor Who mug that I completely forgot that we had that was in the cupboard, and just put all the sonic screwdrivers in it.
That's awesome.
So
now that's a spouse,
right? That is a spouse. So now, wait. In behind my monitors for some reason, I have all 5 of my others. Obviously, the got one doesn't fit in there, but we should do it like we should do a quiz, just like which sonic screwdriver is this? Then you have to
4th.
guess which one it is. Well done, Warren. Wow,
Thank
well
you.
done.
Well, I have the 4th, so that's how I know.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's that'll be the new segment also on the show. It won't be, but now I have all my songs. Oddly enough, my Matt Smith one doesn't want to stay closed. It always just perpetually stays open now. And I don't know if anybody else has this problem.
There's a joke to be made somewhere in there, I'm sure.
It kind of is.
Let's not. How about?
Let's not. See, I've got it closed right now, but the second I put it in, there, it popped open again. So obviously I'm going to have to ask character options for a refund from 2011 when I bought that first time. All right. Hey, here's some exciting stuff. So the film is fabulous, folks. Have been doing tremendous work. Let me. What they're doing is they're basically taking on people's film collections and analyzing them and seeing what they have and returning what they can to the collector. And if they find some missing stuff, they return it to the original broadcaster. And it's really going well. A lot of these people are like archives from people who have passed on. It's kind of how it's been working. Anyway, here's the week that they had. You ready for this? Here's the week. On Monday, they announced that they found 3 missing episodes from a show called Boyd QC, dating from 58 through 61. I've never heard of the show or anything like that. I assume that it's based on a quality control person named Boyd.
I really hope so.
I wish it was. TV was a lot less dramatic back in the late 50s.
Or they're a lawyer and they're Queen's Counsel.
Queen's Counsel. That's probably
what it is.
That's probably what it is. It probably is. We probably knew that. So that was the thing. On Tuesday, members of the Film is Fabulous team, or FIF, visited the BBC archive and returned a Basil Brush episode from 1970, a Steptoe and Son from 63, and Until Death Do Us Part from 66 to the BBC. Those are 3 missing episodes. On Wednesday, they announced the recovery of 3 episodes of vintage television from the 1959. The 2 episodes of The Vice, and a thing called Sabre of London. And then on Friday, and here's the crux of the news right here, they announced a GoFundMe for restoration of an episode of 1950s television. They're looking for £3,000 to, fully prop, because it kind of needs a lot of work done on it, and they don't have the money to do it. So if you want to help contribute to saving an episode of missing television, not Doctor Who probably, links in the show notes to the GoFundMe. They've, as of time of recording, they are at $1,725 of their $3,000 goal. So with 65 people donating, so chip in if you feel like you want to do that, and you can help save archive television, which is pretty cool, I think.
Neato.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. So well done. Film was fabulous. Lots of exciting stuff on the horizon as they curate some lost archives and finding a lot of stuff, really. So all right. Couple of deaths, notable deaths in the entertainment world that have distinct ties to Doctor Who. Jeffrey Hinsliff died at the age of 87. Jeffrey Hinsliff was famous for Coronation Street, but for us, let's face it, he's Waterguard Fisk from Nightmare of Eden. And
whatever Tyler from
Jack
Image
Tyler, I think it
Fendal.
was. Image of the Fendal, yeah, he was. But let's face it, he was from Nightmare of Eden, so therefore deserves a special mention on this list. So that was.
I did watch him on Corey for years. And
Oh
years
yeah,
and years, so.
you watched Corey, didn't you? You were like a bit of a devoted Corey file. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, for
You were going to say
12
freak, admit it.
12 or 15 years, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
right.
not for quite some time now. Like, decade or more than 15 years almost by now, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Did you?
Isn't Coronation Street the Z cars of our time, where every actor goes in it, or what's the American equivalent, Law and Order or something?
no.
Do we have an American equivalent of just actors showing up in a thing, like the Brits do?
Oddly enough, Miami Vice was the launching pad for a billion.
It's a combo of not that many actors and long running shows.
Yeah,
like the Bill,
The long
or
running
Casualty, that kind of
shows
stuff.
are a massive factor for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Which
feel
there's
like
less of in the States.
I feel like one-off roles in Coronation Street are somewhat rare, just because it's a serial type of thing. The Bill is the thing you're looking for, because it's like random
Didn't
criminal.
Ian McKellen do
The Bill or Casualty might be analogs.
The Bill and the Casualty, but not so much Coronation Street. Now, Chris, tell me, because I went through a brief flirtation with this when I was trying to be a devoted Anglophile, and I tried to watch Coronation Street, and maybe lasted an episode and a half. Did you watch it just to be like, I love English, so I have to watch Coronation Street, or what was your reasoning behind that? Defend yourself.
The genesis of it has some aspects that are probably not worth broadcasting.
Oh dear. So a comely lass of some sort?
I was not expecting this.
No,
wow.
not that. Not
okay.
that. Ask me off air.
Wow.
If I haven't already told you, in the past,
Man, you could have made something up, and I would have believed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to do that on the spot. That sounds like effort.
All right. William Russell was in Coronation Street,
Yeah, and most importantly, Gareth Roberts, when he was writing for Coronation Street, named the Underpants Factory Underworld in honor of Doctor Who.
Right.
So,
much as I'm remiss to praise.
RTD was, wrote for it, and
Phil
Collinson produced it before he was poached for Doctor Who.
Yeah, and then he went back to produce it, and then he came back again to Doctor Who, obviously.
Yeah, and don't forget the Back to Earth Red Dwarf crossover, because
I'd like to.
Craig Charles was on both at the time.
It's not good. It's not good at all.
Jeffrey Hinsliff was not on that, though, but he was on Nightmare of Eden.
No, but he was Waterguard Fisk, as you say.
Yep, at the age of 87. Also, a notable innings for David Graham. Died at the age of 99. Just like William Russell, the aforementioned. David Graham
and Bob Barker.
And that's true. And was mentioned a lot for like voicing what Grandpa Pig and Peppa Pig, and Thunderbirds, which he was well known for. But let's face it, we know him from Doctor Who. One of the original voices of the Daleks, which even so much so that last year recording some lines of dialogue for the Daleks in color at age 98. Benjamin Cook and Mark Ayres brought in cool. recording equipment to the home they lived in and recorded that, which is way cool. And played Jardy the bartender in the Gunfighters. Played Nikolai Theodore Herensky in City of Death. And yeah.
Thing about Thunderbirds is that every male puppet except for Brains looks exactly the same. So I just kind of forget about everybody but Brains and Lady Penelope because they're the only two that don't look like everybody else.
Right. Did he do Brains? I don't know who he did.
I don't know if he did.
Don't at us. Don't at us. We'll figure it out. But yeah. All I know is that he was one of the original voices.
Oh, look,
Daleks,
he had a brief appearance in Coronation Street.
There it is.
Like I said, the Coronation Street to everything else pipeline.
Everyone's in there. Everyone's in Coronation. It did last for like 65 years. So yeah.
Still around. Yeah. Still going.
Yeah, still is. So anyway, David Graham, 99 years. What a career. What a life. Hats off to David Graham. And obviously condolences to his friends and family too. But so there we go. So from that, our weekly Death Watch, sadly, the great thing is now it's time to play Fluid Links.
Do you know what this is? Fluid Link K57.
Ah, yes, of course, the Fluid Link.
What's a Fluid Link?
No idea.
It's been a while since we heard the classic Fluid Links theme song, but that's what we're...
K57, yeah.
K5, yes, the Fluid Link, yeah.
K57, yes.
K5, K7. K7 is the Fluid Link.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nardole.
Yep, exactly. Anyway, Fluid Links, questions and comments submitted by you, the listeners. These are some of the ones we had left over from the last time we did one, I think just after the season one. Some of these are pertaining to season one. Some of them are not. Let's find out which. Here is our first Fluid Link. It comes from Richard from Inverness in Scotland. In John Pertwee's last story, Planet of the Spiders... topical because we just finished the commentary of it last week. The producer let him spend a whole episode doing what he loved, racing a variety of vehicles. What would each of the other doctors spend one of their final episodes doing if the producer had humored the actor playing the role? Oh,
First doctor would either be building some weird contraption or berating somebody.
Or trying to bash somebody over the head with a rock.
That's true. But now we're looking at actors here too. So like, not necessarily doctors, but like, what would? Probably, honestly, I think Hartnell would be like giving a holiday. Like, what would you want to do for your last episode? Not be there, but get paid.
It would be all
it.
silent because you just give. I can just do this with a look. So he would.
He would just be miming the whole time. Exactly.
Yeah.
No words for Hartnell.
Would Troughton have yet another family?
Troughton just visits his various different families as part of.
Oh, I really hope they don't let him wear that hat and the other poor choice that they never.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Troughton goes. Maybe we could black up like I originally wanted to.
No,
Can we
cannot.
do that this
Absolutely
time?
not.
I'm gonna say no on that one, Pat. So
it's already covered. So what's Tom Baker?
Yeah, Bert was covered. Tom Baker. What would Tom? Well, obviously,
Tom Baker's later seasons are him doing whatever he wants.
It's a good point.
That's kind of true. Yeah,
it's a good point. But he could like rewind those lines. Already did it.
This time he'd actually have the cabbage.
I think he'd have the cabbage.
Oh yeah, there you go. The cabbage, perfect.
Yeah, we just instead of Nissa saying he was a doctor all the time, it's the cabbage saying it. Davison, what would he want to do?
The celery.
He hates celery. He hates it.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head for him.
Maybe that's what it'd be. Like, Perry would put the celery right next to him and go, I hate celery.
He'd have
crossover with all creatures.
Yeah.
He'd have either quit even earlier or stayed longer.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Colin Baker not gotten fired.
Fired.
That one.
Probably one of his favorite things he would have done. Yeah. I'll tell you what.
He never went to that wedding. Never ran into GNT.
Yeah. The timeline was spared.
Goes back.
I have nothing against this doctor, by the way.
No, but the how he came about the role is slightly dubious in the history of time. But so would you spend a whole episode of him not being fired? Is that wow? That's high praise.
I don't know how you do that, but
for Colin Baker, I think actually what we would do for Colin Baker is that we would give him one episode where basically we see 7 years of his life, because at his opening press conference he famously said, I hope to go even longer than the previous Baker.
Well, it didn't work out,
which ironically was the shortest at that time. Sylvester McCoy.
Well, he likes to talk about how he rescued everybody from that waterlogged set or whatever it was. So just that every episode.
Sophie Aldred specifically. But.
Yeah.
So several of those in one episode.
He just
over
goes,
and over, increasingly ridiculous ones.
Water tanks keep breaking. He goes
another water tank. Oh, doctor.
He goes to this aquarium. It bursts. Oh no! Pet store. Oh no!
And somehow tents in parking lots keep exploding.
Yep, exactly.
That's true. Yep.
It is a pretty good flop he does on the ground. It's not bad.
He's a good little stunt performer with Sylvester McCoy. We're doing the modern series too. Paul McGann. What about Paul McGann?
More episodes, like an actual TV series.
Yeah, I think he burns his wig.
He got picked up.
Yeah,
he got picked up for series. Yeah,
yeah. He burns his wig though like he basically.
Ceremonially on the TARDIS console.
Yeah.
No, or maybe his hair catches on fire, Michael Jackson style, and he gets a change in hairstyles.
Right.
Not unlike
that's usually how head related fires happen. Yeah.
Not unlike Louis Jameson with the eye color change.
Oh, I see what you mean. They have to write it in. He can't just go to the barber and get his hair
get a blowtorch to your head.
He has to have his hair burnt off.
There has to be some odd weird.
His hair regenerates. Just his hair regenerates.
Yeah. Oh man. That's perfect. God, we're doing great. We're doing great here. Eccleston.
Whoa,
no, he skipped the War Doctor. What are you doing, man?
Exactly.
This is War Doctor.
Yeah, where's the War Doctor?
Oh,
here?
War Doctor.
Although I have no clue, actually.
Philistine.
What would you do with John Hurt? John Hurt's right there. What would we do?
Using de-aging that would cost entirely too much money, we get a whole series of young War Doctor adventures. As we very briefly see in Time of the Doctor, or not Time of the Doctor, the Night of the Doctor, where they show a reflection of a younger John Hurt. I want a whole season of younger John Hurt. What they're doing in Big Finish, basically, but with CG.
Just to acquiesce John Hurt's whims.
It's less John Hurt's wishes than mine, frankly.
Right. Gotcha. I know you would just want to see young John Hurt and everything.
That would rule.
All right. Paul McGann. No, I'm sorry.
Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston.
Eccleston. Boy. Let's see. Well, I mean, honestly, I think maybe the last episode.
He'd bury the hatchet with Keith Boak.
Right.
And
is that something he'd want to do though? Like we're just like, we're bowing to his whims.
He decides to be the bigger man in this, and try some forgiveness.
Does that imply he wasn't in the first place? Because I'm not sure about that.
I think that probably his last episode was he goes through Buckingham Palace and just takes every single member of the royal family out.
This goes against the remit of the character. I don't care.
I don't care. Just takes them out, which is funny because you think about it. Okay, I was make a tie-in to Inferno, the alternate universe of Inferno, when the Doctor asked Brigade Leader what happened to the royal family, executed all of them, and then
it was Christopher.
It was actually Eccleston, and awesome. He goes to the alternate universe, and he's the one that actually kills them. Anyway, you're saying Chris, or
there's an incursion at Buckingham Palace, and he gets to be the John McClane to somebody else's Hans Gruber, who's trying to kill the royal family, and he has to save them.
Even though he hates the
royal family, like no,
I want to kill every stinking one of you.
He has to protect and prolong the monarchy.
I like how our entire segment is about regicide.
The regicide of Christopher Eccleston. One more episode for him. That's good for that. I'm sure he'd go away happy at that point. David Tennant.
I don't think this counts because he's already gotten this. Let's see. We've got
true.
We've got 10. We've got other 10, which he regenerates into sort of kind of 11. We've got Handy, and we've got the 14th Doctor. Tennant is covered.
There's way too many Tennants.
And he met his wife on Doctor Who.
He has no.
Yeah, don't get greedy here, Tennant. Come on.
He's good. He's had enough.
He has had enough. Tennant is.
In fact, I think he owes some change.
I think he does.
Back to Doctor Who and all of this.
He really does. He should do Gallifrey 1 for free at this point. Honestly,
here's our list of demands, David.
No appearance.
He strikes me as the kind of guy I go, yeah, sure, what the hell?
Yeah, okay, well, I'll do it. It's only a weekend. Why not? 11, Matt Smith.
That's a tough one. I don't know what to do with this.
What would he have? I mean, we already saw him. We got to see him play soccer because he was a young and upcoming soccer player before an injury wrecked that. He turned to acting. What would have Matt Smith liked? Probably fewer big long speeches. Tell you, kind of like the Hartnell thing. It would just be him and Hartnell would just be having a mime off essentially in the last episode, not having to remember words like he had.
Memory holding Nightmare in Silver. Granted, that's more my wish than his, but
yeah. Well, I remember I don't think he liked that one very much. He was just annoyed with how many lines he had to learn.
He's good in it though, like his back and forth with his own weird self or whatever.
That's because he's a professional actor, sir.
He's legitimate.
He's a legitimate actor. That's what he would do.
He would. How about he the other way around? He would have yet an even bigger speech.
Yeah,
that people would make other Doctor actors perform.
I hope that's not his wish.
He would be the interviewer on stage with other Doctor Who actors and with cue cards lined up. Say this line from some other Doctor. Do it. That's what he would do. See how easy it is? Nah, you're not laughing now, are you? Yeah.
PCAP.
This is a tough one because he's arguably the biggest Doctor. Like Tennant's a genuine Doctor Who nerd, but PCAP might be bigger than that even in terms of nerdery.
They even worked his guitar in, for God's sake. I mean, that's
he got the Mondasian Cybermen in, right? So,
you know what? He never got to meet Susan again. I think his last episode he would meet.
And he did
Susan.
talk about Susan's character quite a lot. In various interviews and whatnot. So love it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
he gets to meet Susan.
No notes.
Meet Susan.
Jodie Whittaker gets to make a final season without COVID. That's
publicity.
Your.
She gets some publicity. How
some
about that?
publicity, perhaps a trailer or two. That's there's
all of that is fantastic. Yes.
Right? That would be fab.
I don't know if the Doctor would want that, but she might. So.
Yeah. Joe Martin
and young.
More
Martin.
We recorded the War Doctor, so we might as well include Joe Martin. Big Finish coming out January 2025.
Yeah, so that's kind of happening, right?
Yeah, her story hasn't ended yet. And Ncuti Gatwa hasn't ended yet either, so we know of. And
14 is basically Tennant again anyway, and he got it by generation, so he still gets the pass.
Yeah,
because he's still around.
I feel like it's been 2 years, and Ncuti Gatwa has, I don't think, left the British Isles for shooting purposes. And given how he likes sunny locations, I mean, can we just fly to Spain? Can we do a Doctor Who episode in Ibiza or something like that? And then
at a dance club in a Speedo,
right? Just
for Warren's edification.
Yeah,
done. Edification? There's nothing to learn there.
Yeah.
Dude looks good.
Yeah.
Okay. Lesson's over.
Yeah. And he regenerates, and it's the DJ that actually like shoots him or something like that.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
No, this is last night a DJ ended my life, and that would be the title of the last episode in relation to the famous old song by that band that did.
It's also a good history of DJs that I'm reading called Last Night a DJ Saved My Life. It's very interesting.
Oh, really? Oh, well, look at that.
Or maybe he becomes a deity, and they can do if God is a DJ, the Pink song.
I saw Pink in concert.
You did. You're one up on both of us because we haven't.
That's right. Came to Edmonton recently. Mm-hmm. Well, there we go. I think every actor has been successfully sated in their final moments.
What about Peter Cushing?
Or Edmund Warwick.
Appears in Star Wars.
Peter Cushing appears in Star Wars. Edmund Warwick. Edmund Warwick got it, basically. He says, oh, wow, I get to be a Doctor Who as the Doctor now.
Richard Hurndall. Or David Bradley.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Who also got what he wanted because he got to be both Hartnell and the Doctor.
I mean, Warwick, I think, lived until 1999, I want to say. So he outlived, Hartnell, obviously, and Richard Hurndall. So maybe he should have been in there.
Well, Hurndall died how soon after
84. Yeah, he died like
a
few months. Yeah, just a few months after it went out. So, so there you go. Edmund Warwick could have been William Hartnell in The Dark Dimension or something like that.
Oh, dear God. I keep forgetting what it is. I keep having to look it up. Don't tell me because I don't care enough.
That's what it is. All right. Here is the next fluid link. This one comes from Richard Smith. It came in obviously before Twiblats was announced, so bear that in mind. But we keep hearing about spin-off shows from Doctor Who in the RTD2 era, But the rumors seem pretty obvious. Daleks, Cybermen, returning companions. Is there a tiny part of the Hooniverse that's less celebrated that you'd welcome seeing in a spin-off series? Less celebrated.
Tractators. All Tractator cast.
I'm going to reserve the whole enjoyment, pardon me, the whole enjoyment thing until I see it. But I mean, Sea Devils that's that's niche enough.
It's kind of niche when you think about it.
I would love to see a Robots of Death sort of. Don't update them. The designs are awesome as is.
Yep.
You can update everything else, but just that corner, that weird, luxuriant, decadent corner of the universe would be an interesting, like, little mini series of all the intrigues of the Sand Miner and all. There's no Doctor Who crap whatsoever. It's kind of like Star Wars Outlaws having no lightsabers. You just have that little corner and all their weird little. It's like Succession on a Sand Miner.
Soundtrack by Giorgio Moroder or something like that.
Yeah. Make it very retro 80s-ish and 70s-ish, but still modern. You know what I mean?
Shot on 35 millimeter film.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Yeah. And it's basically just a nighttime soap opera in the style of the 80s.
Come on, man.
But with robots and Taron Capel. It's got to be a prequel, so Taron Capel's still a going concern.
That's true. Disco, obviously, cocaine, all basically,
but some space cocaine, like it's called something else,
Vraxoin.
Yeah, just make it the most decadent, make it everything Torch would want it to be, but properly done by adults who make it actually interesting.
Yeah, damn it, Warren, that is a good one.
Yeah. But the Robots of Death got to look exactly the same.
Exactly. The whole thing has to look like sort of shiny brown, I think, is probably the color palette that we're looking for. You know?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
I was going to say, don't forget there's all the stuff like Caldor City and whatnot, stuff that Big Finish and Beyond have done.
Right.
But I don't think that has anything to do with what you said.
Set it on Caldor. No. Set it at, like, have power machinations. Again, I'm going to crap on the Acolyte. The very last episode, they're doing stuff with the High Council or whatever of the Republic.
Yeah.
Instead, have the back and forth. They're on the Sand Miner. They're getting orders they don't want from Caldor. Caldor's got their own intrigues going on. Everything's going to hell. Earth is terrible, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of Andor-y.
Yeah, it does.
Sure, why not? Andor.
Disney, where's my check?
This is the next one right here. This is the next, and like Doctor Who never shows up. We never see anything.
No,
I can't even like think of what might show up. I mean, didn't they try to cross over like Blake 7 into that Caldor City?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
I was just thinking the death marker. Seeing the death marker?
Right?
Glorious 35 millimeter film? Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Like the music and the...
What would you...
man. Yeah.
What would you call the series, Warren?
I think Caldor is not a bad name for it. But...
Just Caldor? Okay.
Because the Robots of Death is a really, when you hear it down to it, it's a Doctor Who name, right? It's not adult enough for what I'm coming up with here.
Yeah. Be a good one though. And then like, and then the D-84 has like been there the whole time and he's like spying on stuff and like
yeah.
Boy,
and he's got his own internal stuff because he's trying to fight his own programming. There you go. This thing's a target-rich environment of good stuff.
We got a winner here.
You have stuff about the like spy agency or whatever that he and like this. There's just so much cool crap in that episode that again doesn't actually need to be filled out. That's what's cool about it. So now here I am filling it out. But I mean,
but on 35 mil in shiny brown with Giorgio Moroder soundtrack.
But the implied backstory would be a verdant field to work with, I think.
Yep, absolutely. For 5 episodes. There's your 5 episode second spin-off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right there. Coming 2027 to Disney Plus. Caldor, aka the robots, the
not sure what might be. I would send them the idea, and I would immediately get screwed out of anything to do with this.
Would you call it Caldor, or would you call it Sand Miner or something like that?
No, Sand Miner's too. It's too generic. Okay. Only dorks like us. I mean, Caldor. Only dorks with us know too, but it's exotic sounding enough that people would be like, Caldor, what the hell is that? They would check it out, and they might mistake it for Andor. So there you go. You get the Star Wars audience.
You get a mockbuster title in there too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you might think that. I don't think we can top that. So there you go. Write it down though. We came up with it first though, so we will be suing anyone who comes up with that idea,
including the Chris Boucher estate who owns it because it's his ideas in the first place.
It's ours now. It's taken by a rude censor.
Don't you understand? The fans own this now. I love when fans say that. I'm like, no, you legally do not. That's just not how this works.
Yeah. Okay, that's perfected. Here's our next fluid link. This comes from Rude Velvet here. Radio Free Skaro have been hired to develop a movie adaptation of a classic Who story, perhaps based on what we just came up. Much like the Peter Cushing Dalek films, which story are you adapting, and who is your one-hit wonder Doctor? So we're making a classic Who story, making a classic Who story into a film, and then choosing a different actor to play the one-off Doctor. That's
it can't be too continuity heavy, and it should have a classic villain.
Yeah.
Well, should we to my mind, the obvious one is the Chase, because that was that was in early development for a film.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
But we won't be doing that.
Make it. But think of how much better the Chase could be if it was a lot more concise.
Well, you could just not make it to be better.
I don't think it would be. I think it would be it's a mad world, except with Daleks.
Yeah. And that's not good, frankly. How that movie is 3 hours baffles me to this day.
Yeah, that's all the Chase would have been.
For the first time in forever.
Like Phil Silvers would have been in the Dalek movie. It would have been weird,
Yeah, what's the era of this movie? Like that would change how this is made. Like if it's a 60s movie, it's different than if it's say a 90s movie.
You know what? Let's tell you what. Let's look at a classic Who story, but then set it within 2 years, say, of when it came out, because that's when the Dalek stories were. So, oh wow, this is big. So like if you're thinking, and I know we're thinking this, I'm thinking it. You're thinking Tom Baker's story. I'm thinking Elliot Gould. That's sort of like
I like where you're going with
crossover.
This.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But which Tom Baker story?
Well, I mean, so we've already Elliot Gould is already attached. Is that what we're looking at here? Or does he have to?
How about Ark in Space? That's because it's pretty self-contained.
I had thought about Ark in Space, but that's just basically Alien. Let's face it.
I suppose. And how are you gonna other than making the effects better? How are you gonna make it better?
Right.
Is it worth trying to make better something lesser, like Android Invasion or
I see what you mean.
I'm not a huge fan of Nightmare Eden, but it would make for a good movie.
Would it though?
Underworld.
Underworld.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Underworld done properly would, although it has a stinky charm all its own. But.
Yeah.
Or given we have the history of the Cushing films taking like 6 and 7 part stories and crushing them into 80 whatever minutes.
Here we go.
Do you want to take something like The Key to Time and make it into one single film?
Key to Time.
Or is that too much? Is that too chasey, mad
you got the chase
world
again, right? If you do that.
Yeah, essentially. What about The Invasion? If you're thinking about 8 episodes into something smaller.
The Invasion or The Invasion of Time?
The Invasion. Cyberman one. Cyberman never.
So then who's the celebrity who's playing Patrick Troughton?
Invasion of Time could still work as a six part condensed.
I think
you could just make it Sontarans to begin with, or really condense the Varden nonsense.
But that does kind of rely on lore though, whereas I feel like The Invasion less
That's
so.
True.
I think I kind of lean towards The Invasion just because it's the longer story.
Who's the Troughton?
Who's our Doctor? And you know what? You might as well think about casting Tobias Vaughn too. No, because we're doing this. This is a movie made in
Walter Matthau.
1971. Let's say this is when this film is going to be.
Yep, I'm saying Walter Matthau.
Dustin Hoffman.
As the Doctor?
He's too Dustin Hoffman.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he's short and dark haired. So I mean,
somebody like it doesn't have to be Matthau, but somebody like that, a character actor of that kind. It doesn't have to be an American either, but those are the ones I can think of.
As Doctor Who, you mean?
Yeah, as Doctor Who.
Trying to think here. You know what? Oddly enough, my I've never properly seen like Laurence Olivier in anything.
Actually, I have. He's in Spartacus. He's more of an authority figure than a goofball like the second Doctor.
Here we go.
He'd make a better first Doctor, even though he looks like the second Doctor.
Warren,
or third, for that matter.
This is gonna be up your alley. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
As the second Doctor in the movie The Invasion, Peter Ustinov. There it is.
Oh yes, bleepin'
Ustinov.
I restrained myself there.
As the Doctor in the Cyber Invasion.
Awesome. I can watch him do a phone book. Like it's just, I had to watch Blackbeard's Ghost. And I'm like, wait a minute, Ustinov's in it? Oh yeah, I'm in. I'll watch this. What the hell? I don't care what it's about. It's Ustinov
in color. So there we go. So even though the question only asked which story and which Doctor, now we got to think which. It's Tobias Vaughn. We have to think about that, and maybe even the Brigadier. Maybe even the Brigadier because that's notable too.
Brigadier should still be a Brit. That's where you bring in David Niven as the Brigadier. Now we're cooking with gas.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Yep. That flies.
Okay. Obviously, David Lean is making this thing.
Why in the name of God would David Lean be making this?
I don't know. But
it sounds like more of an Arthur Hiller jam, to be honest with you.
He had a gap in his schedule.
And who
tax break, and somehow he gets out with the inland revenue because of this film.
Who is playing the villain? I'm thinking of like I know who the villain is. Are you ready for this? Because he recently departed a long role. He wants to spread his wings a little bit, maybe play a villain. Playing Tobias Vaughn, fresh off of being James Bond, it's Sean Connery as Tobias Vaughn.
I like where you're going with this. Or Lazenby wouldn't be bad either, actually.
Lazenby was already tuned in and checked out, I think, by that time.
Probably, yeah.
Having been Bond for one film. I'm just thinking, like, Connery wants to go against type and play the villain in a sort of a James Bondish kind of thing as Tobias Vaughn, is what I'm thinking. And they'll make him like Welsh, but he'll still be Irish because that's just what he does.
And the Cybermen are like zhuzhed up for film, but 70s zhuzhed up. So they look better, but they don't look that much better.
Yeah, I like it. So there we go. Look at that. Go back into time. Peter Ustinov in Doctor Who and the Invasion with David Niven. And the other James Bond from that time. There's your other marketing tie-in. Sean Connery, as directed by.
Is there? Because if memory serves, John Levine played a Cyberman in that. Did he not?
He did, and also.
Is there another Doctor Who character actor that we could maybe shoehorn into being one of the Cybermen in the movie?
Why would he want to? A character actor.
Michael Sheard. Why the hell not?
Sure. Michael Sheard shows up. So I'm in a new Doctor Who movie. Yes, but
also when this movie comes out, completely tanks the show. Like it's just it's a total bomb.
Yeah.
It's like it's the third one they didn't need to make, and it doesn't work out at all. It doesn't fit with the modern sensibilities of the 1970s. It just does not work.
Oh yeah, it goes on like a double bill roadshow tour with like Rod Steiger's like Napoleon or Waterloo or something like that, and it just like and then that's it.
Just terrible.
And season 7 is like the last season of Doctor Who as a result.
Yeah, ruins the show. We're not talking about it now to this day. Where this is a Battlestar Galactica remake by the guy who played Apollo cast.
Yeah. But
that
what
one gets made.
But what a
time space continuum apart.
Yeah, but what a mighty end, right? What a way to go out. The last Doctor Who thing ever made is a adaptation of The Invasion with Peter Ustinov.
This idiotic concoction of ours.
Exactly. All right. Well, you know what? That's a hat trick of Fluid Links, kids. I don't think we can top anything apart from that. So thank you once again for playing Fluid Links. What glorious time wasting we do on this podcast and have done for 979 episodes, kids. Thanks for listening for all that time, and indeed for the last hour. Next week, more of the same. I have no idea what's happening next week, but a Toby Haydock interview is on the horizon. We'll see if it's next week or the one after that. But because we in part talk about the season 25 box set that is on the horizon in the UK and hopefully soon after here in North America. We haven't done our customary check-in at the pre-order sites this week, but if I vamp long enough, Chris will probably look it up right now, unless he's too lazy, because we're already in the wrap-up portion of this show. But who knows what Chris is up to right now in regards to that? Chris, have you responded to my passive aggressive request? Okay, good. That's fine. That's fine.
That's the proper way to do it, Chris.
Yep. We'll find out. We'll find out next week on next episode of Radio Free Skaro if Blake 7 and or season 25 is available for pre-order. But anyway, whatever happens next week, we'll talk to you then. Until that time, I am Stephen at Edmonton.
Or in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.